Welcome everyone to another Deviant.fun's flash review, and this time we got, yeah, you're reading it right, Hanna-Barbera universe, the Flintstones. But wait, because the important information is down here. It says Mark Russell, and that should get you interested, and Steve Pugh. And we've got some small sentences of opinion from the Hollywood Reporter that calls this as one of the sharpest social satires around, in and out of comics, and Wired magazine, the best thing on the stands you're not reading. So meet the truly modern Stone Age family, and etc., and a lot of praise around the book. And so I was very skeptical because it's the Flintstones. I didn't even like very much the Flintstones when I was a kid, so why would I, in my 40s, be interested in reading a Flintstones book, right? Well, I got interested because someone hinted me that I should be interested, and I followed the advice, and I'm very happy to have followed it. First, because Steve does an awesome job in illustrating this book. It's a feast for the eyes. Here you see the beginning of the civilization of the Flintstones. And like it said, like the Hollywood Reporter said, this is a powerful satire to modern society in various aspects, and I will go through them as I live through. So the book starts in the modern ages, where they see a caveman conserved in ice, and we will see the story behind that. That's not important for the overall. So Bedrock is thriving and is becoming a civilization. Is beginning to know the comfort of art, of home appliances, industrialized work. And so we'll have, of course, the boss, the big boss that runs the big company, which actually is a quarry, but he is the most influential person. He will also go into politics, just like we can see today. So that's the first thing you'll see. We've got an impressionist artist here doing art just with handprints, and for her it has deep meaning, but for other people maybe not. And of course we'll have all the silliness that comes with the Flintstones, seeing animals being used as home appliances, and that's just pure fun, nothing intellectual in that. But Fred Flintstone is the main employee for Slate's in the Slate's quarry, so is offered the responsibility to accompany these new Neanderthals that actually are Cro-Magnons, but he calls them Neanderthals, which are cheap labor, almost slave labor. Where have we seen that in the modern world, right? Minimum wages, because they don't even have an understanding of what money is. For them it makes no real sense. But they do it anyway. Then we have the shell phone, which is kind of funny how the word is similar. Yeah, and then what we see is we know that there has been a war, and this depicts the time where the war occurred. There will be various incursions into the past by the characters, namely Fred and Barney. They will remember those times, and we will see that the war was against was based just on fear, speculation, and no actual threat. Where have we heard of it? Well, all the time in the modern world, right? Conflicts are built just from instilling fear into people, and these guys might be a menace, and from might be a menace they become a real menace, and preemptive actions occur. Yeah. So we see Slate living in his mansion filled with wealth, while the other guys live in poverty. Just like today we have the big magnates having 80% of the money in the world and the rest being spread through the rest of the civilization. This is the first exhibition that Fred's wife gains access to. Her paintings are exhibited there, and she finds a group of intellectuals, pompous intellectuals, that are just discerning her artwork, and she becomes very sad with it. That's also a depiction of the high society, high intellectuals that think that they live on a world that they are worthy to live on. Then television appears. It's a new phenomenon, so there will be some very laughable situations, because even for the news presenter this is something new, so he's not very sure what he can or should say. So there will be some interesting things there. Here's a can opener, an animal, right? Grass cutter, it's a sheep attached to a piece of metal. An octopus which acts as a washing machine. And they start questioning, Fred and Barney at least start questioning, why are they hoarding these comforts that give them nothing in return? It doesn't seem to fill their lives with more happiness or joy or whatever. And then, of course, we have a very powerful critique and satire to religion, and that's probably the most funny parts in this book are related to the religion, because there's a guy, this one, that is, let's call him the priest, okay? So he's the guy that's in charge of finding a divinity for everyone to adore, and it keeps changing. And it doesn't really matter. He just wants to find something, even if it's a stone or whatever. And there will be a time where he will pick a home appliance to be the new Lord, the new God, and then everyone starts seeing it in the market. Hey, we're worshipping a home appliance. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? What's happening? So they'll be returning to the church and questioning their new God, but happily switching to another one which is even dumber, a dumber idea, but they'll go along with it until they find out how ridiculous it is. Then we have also the marriage. Before that we have space exploration, which you can see here, the launch, how the launch was engineered. Yeah, and so there will be visitors from outer space, and of course Mr. Slate tries to impose himself as the guy to talk with, trying to get some influence around the Martians, but the aliens, but they're not interested in Bedrock. They just want to catalog it and go away. Okay, this planet doesn't give us anything of interest, so let's just move on. But later on, there will be a funny thing related to the aliens. As you can see, they're back there, but not for the best reasons. Still funny though. And there's a part here that deals with marriage and social changes, because they're trying to transition, because religion is also pointing that way, that they should transition to steady couples and to marriage. And of course not everyone is fond of the idea, and this guy has super interesting conversations trying to explain why they should be married. There's a couple that is married that is super angry to each other. They're nothing but happy, and they will provide some laughs here in the discussions. And you'll see this guy trying to twist his arms and legs to explain why marriage is such a good thing. Yeah, and it will make you think too, if this habit and if this cultural habit makes that as much sense as we think it does, because we don't question it, at least in Western civilization. And you can see here protesters: marriage is unnatural, 1 man plus 1 woman equals 2 weird. So we'll see everything that we hold as natural in our modern society being explored, sometimes presented here, and seeing with fresh eyes what those things could trigger intellectually, what reactions could they intellectually create. Like I said, various past incursions into the periods of the war and why it happened, if it should have happened or not. So it's a festivity of satire, like the Hollywood Reporter was saying. Then there will be the announcement of the end of the world, and we'll see what happens to a society, as people will immediately turn to their basic instincts and their old ways. Yeah, this is filled with humorous yet smart satires. You'll find yourself thinking about how things work in the modern world, and you're put in the situation where, what if this was new to me? What would I think of? What would it make me question, think? So yeah, this is a very surprising book in the best way of saying it, in the best meaning. It's super recommendation. This is only volume 1. There are 2 volumes. I must confess I've read only the first volume, but we've got both of them in the store. So if you're interested, if you never have heard of this, then it's time to get to know of it. You can go to Deviant.fun.biz and purchase it there. If you know someone that has it, ask for it, because it's well worth your time. It's not only because if you like illustrations, this excels in it, but because it's a very smart book, very intelligent book, that will grab some laughs from you. Some will be inner laughs, other might be external ones, vocalized ones. It might get to that. Yeah, so that's all I have to say about this, and I think it's not a few. Yeah, as you can understand, I highly recommend this for everyone. This has no sex, no violence, no whatever. So even a junior could read this, though he wouldn't get most of the funny things in here, but that will be the only counter. So if you like this video, if you want to be notified of new videos like this with live-throughs and reviews, now it's time to hit the subscribe button or the like button. It will help us grow, it will help us spread the love for comics, help you guys find your new book to fall in love with. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, yeah, but mainly here in YouTube. That's where all videos land, but the news and arrivals, not all of them are mentioned here in the YouTube channel. So that's it. Until the next video, please stay safe, well and happy, have excellent reads, and Deviant Fun out in 3, 2, 1, bye bye.